Darius spits. The chicken pot pie sits in front of him, still steaming. 5 kitchen workers freeze mid-bite. Darius covers his mouth. Something sharp just cut his cheek. He looks at his palm, a latex glove finger, soaked in gravy, stuffed with debris. Something metal glints inside the torn rubber. He peels it open. A metal shard falls out, jagged, sharp as a blade. Around the table, 5 other faces, all black. One by one, they're pulling things out too. Rubber, plastic, metal. Through the doorway, 3 white staff members eat sandwiches and laugh. Clean plates. No problems. Blake Morrison appears. His face drains when he sees the glove. Darius stands. Your office. Right now. Blake's voice shakes. Who the hell are you? Darius doesn't answer. Just keeps walking. What happens next will destroy Blake's career and expose something far worse than anyone imagined. 2 weeks earlier, Darius Wellington sits in his corner office. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlook Atlanta. 6 restaurants under his management, his mother's legacy. Grace Wellington built the first location 40 years ago. Single mother, nursing student by day, line cook by night. She scraped together enough to open Wellington's Kitchen in 1985. 1 location, 10 tables. Soul food meets fine dining. Feed people like family, she always said. Make them feel loved. By the time she died 3 years ago, she'd built 6 locations. Darius inherited everything. The restaurants, the reputation, the responsibility. He tries to honor her memory, keep the standards high, but running 6 restaurants from an office feels distant. Numbers on spreadsheets, reports from managers. He hasn't worked a line in 20 years. His assistant knocks. Mr. Wellington, you asked me to flag anything unusual in customer complaints. What have you got? Buckhead location. 7 formal complaints in 4 months, all food poisoning or illness. Health department investigated twice but found nothing concrete. 7 complaints. 1 location, 4 months. What about the other 5 locations? Combined, 3 complaints total in the same period. Darius leans forward. Show me. She hands him a folder. He flips through. Different customers, different dates, same pattern. Severe illness within hours of eating, nausea, vomiting, 1 hospitalization. Who's managing Buckhead? Rick Palmer, been there 4 years. And the head chef? Blake Morrison, 2 years. Blake Morrison. Darius remembers hiring him. Strong resume, great references, numbers looked good. Profit margins up 20% under Blake's management, but 7 complaints. Get me Rick Palmer on the phone. 5 minutes later, Rick's voice comes through. Defensive immediately. Mr. Wellington, if this is about the complaints, we've investigated thoroughly. Nothing to worry about. 7 complaints in 4 months doesn't worry you? Some customers are just difficult. You know how it is. Difficult customers don't end up hospitalized. That was 1 incident. Sophia Martinez, 7-year-old girl. But health inspector found nothing wrong with our kitchen. What did you do about it? Pause. We offered the family compensation. $1,200. They accepted. Darius's hand tightens on the phone. You paid them to go away. We resolved the situation professionally. Did you investigate what made her sick? Blake checked everything. Said it must have been something she ate before coming here. Blake checked. Blake said, I want all incident reports on my desk by end of day. Sir, end of day, Rick. He hangs up. Something is wrong. He can feel it. That night at home, Darius can't sleep. He opens his laptop. Searches his email for anything related to Buckhead. Hours of nothing. Then he checks the spam folder. There. An email from 2 months ago. Subject line, please read, urgent about Buckhead Kitchen, from J.Ellis, cook@gmail.com. He opens it. Mr. Wellington, I'm a line cook at your Buckhead location. I don't know if this will reach you, but I have to try. Blake Morrison is tampering with food, targeting specific customers. Staff is terrified. I have evidence, but nowhere to send it safely. Please help. Darius stares at the screen. 2 months ago. Sitting in his spam folder. He clicks reply. Still there? Can you talk? Sends it. Doesn't expect a response at midnight. His phone buzzes 30 seconds later. The sender calling. Hello? Mr. Wellington? Young voice, male, nervous. This is Jordan Ellis. I sent that email. Tell me everything. Jordan talks for 40 minutes. Blake Morrison's behavior. Retaliation against customers who complained. Food dropped on floors, spit in dishes, temperature violations. Staff too scared to report because Rick Palmer and Blake are friends. Do you have proof? Videos, 4 of them. I can send them right now. Do it. 2 minutes later, Darius's email pings. 4 video files. He watches them. His stomach turns. Blake spitting directly into a plated dish. Blake dropping steak on the dirty floor, picking it up, serving it anyway. Blake coaching a new hire. Problem customers need to be dealt with. Blake alone at a prep station, adding something from his pocket into pot pie filling. Darius's hands shake. The last complaint. Sophia Martinez, 7 years old, hospitalized. He searches her name, finds a local news article. Photo of a little girl in a hospital bed, tubes in her arms, eyes closed. Darius slams the laptop shut. Visions of his mother blur with tears, her scrubs after double shifts, her hands kneading dough for peach cobbler. Her voice. Feed people like family. This isn't family, this is poison. He calls Jordan back. I'm coming in, undercover. Can you keep this quiet? Undercover? You're the CEO. Exactly. Which means Blake performs when I'm around. I need to see what really happens when no one's watching. When? Tomorrow. Darius opens his laptop again, creates a fake resume. David Williams, dishwasher, basic kitchen experience, looking for work. His phone rings. Rick Palmer returning his call about the incident reports. Darius doesn't answer. Tomorrow he vanishes into the kitchen shadows. As David Williams. His mother built this on trust. On peach cobbler and Sunday dinners and treating strangers like kin. Blake Morrison turned it into a weapon. Time to take it back. The next morning, Darius makes a decision. He calls his lawyer. I need to set up a sting operation legally airtight. What kind of operation? I'm going undercover in my own restaurant. Silence. You're serious? Completely. I need to document what's happening. Employee surveillance laws, recording consent, evidence admissibility. Walk me through it. Georgia is a one-party consent state. If you're part of the conversation, you can record it, but there are complications if you're technically the employer. I won't be. I'll be David Williams, dishwasher. No one will know I'm the CEO. That's risky. Not as risky as letting Blake Morrison keep poisoning people. His lawyer pauses. If you do this, document everything. Times, dates, witnesses, make it ironclad. That's the plan. Darius hangs up. Calls his operations director next. I need you to handle something sensitive. For the next week, I'm off-grid. Tell anyone who asks that I'm visiting the Charleston location. Where will you actually be? Better if you don't know, just cover for me. Sir, trust me, 1 week. That's all I need. He hangs up before she can argue. Next call. Rick Palmer at Buckhead. Rick, it's Darius. Those incident reports you sent. I need clarification on the Martinez case. Rick's voice is casual, too casual. What do you want to know? Walk me through what Blake said happened. Blake said the kid probably had a stomach bug already. Bad timing that she got sick after eating here. Did he investigate the specific dish she ate? He said he checked everything, found nothing wrong. And you believed him. Pause. Blake's been here 2 years. Solid record. No issues until recently. 7 complaints isn't no issues. Look, Darius, running a kitchen is tough. Blake handles difficult situations. Sometimes customers are just looking for what? You know, trouble, free meals, complaints. And how does Blake handle those situations? He deals with it, professionally. Darius leans forward. Define professionally. Rick laughs nervously. He makes sure they're satisfied, or at least handled. Handled. Yeah, you know, so they don't cause more problems. Darius keeps his voice neutral. Put Blake on the phone. Now? Now. He hears muffled conversation. Then Blake's voice, confident, smooth. Mr. Wellington, Rick said you wanted to talk? Blake, I'm reviewing the Martinez case. 7-year-old girl, hospitalized. Walk me through your investigation. Already did that with Rick. Everything checked out. Kitchen was clean. Food temps were good. She must have had something else going on. You're certain? Positive. I run a tight ship. Standards are high. What about the other complaints? 6 more in 4 months. Blake's tone shifts slightly, defensive. Some customers are just difficult, sir. They complain about everything. Wait times, portions, temperature. They're looking for reasons to get free food. And how do you handle those customers? I handle it? Blake laughs. Handle? Like making sure that whiner never darkens our door again. Professional customer management, you know? They don't come back and bother us with fake complaints. Darius's grip tightens on the phone. There it is. The admission. I see. Thanks for clarifying, Blake. No problem, sir. Anything else? No. That's all I needed to hear. He hangs up, opens his laptop, searches for more information about the other complaints. Reviews pile up on sites Rick never mentioned. Bitter steak, ER trip. Chemical soup, 2 days puking. Never again something was wrong with that food. Pattern after pattern, complaints followed by illness, followed by silence. Paid off or scared off. Darius opens the videos Jordan sent again, watches Blake contaminate food, watches him coach staff to retaliate. His mother's voice echoes, feed people like family. Blake Morrison feeds people poison. Darius pulls up the fake resume he created. David Williams, age 43, dishwasher. Previous experience at Morrison's Kitchen downtown, a restaurant that closed 6 months ago, convenient for a backstory no one can verify. He prints it, folds it, puts it in his pocket, looks at himself in the mirror. He hasn't worked a line in 20 years, hasn't scrubbed dishes, hasn't stood on aching feet for 12-hour shifts. But his mother did, for years, before she built her empire. Time to remember where it all started. Darius grabs his coat. Time to get my hands dirty Southern style. Tomorrow morning, David Williams walks into Wellington's kitchen Buckhead looking for work, and Darius Wellington starts gathering evidence to bury Blake Morrison. Day 1, Monday, 5:30 a.m. Darius stands in his closet staring at tailored suits. He reaches past them, grabs old jeans, gray t-shirt, work boots. In the mirror, the face staring back ain't the suit-wearing boss. It's the kid Mom taught to spot BS from a mile away. No watch, no rings, no cologne, just David Williams, dishwasher. He drives to Buckhead in a borrowed Toyota, parks 3 blocks away, walks to the back entrance at 5:55 a.m. He knocks. A young man opens. Early 20s, black, tired eyes. Help you? Rick Palmer, dishwasher position. Experience, 10 years. Name, David Williams. Wait here. Door closes. Heart pounding, door opens. Older man, white, balding, Rick Palmer. David Williams? Yes, sir. Worked Morrison's Kitchen? Until it closed 6 months ago. Why the gap? Taking care of my sick mother. She passed 3 weeks ago. Rick nods. References? Manager's number on the resume. Place is closed, though. Rick studies it. The number goes to a disconnected line by design. We need someone. Blake runs a tight ship. No drama, you follow? Darius meets his eyes. Drama? I eat it for breakfast. Rick almost smiles. $12 an hour, 6 to 2. Show up late, you're done. Understood. When can you start? Right now. Come in. The kitchen is stainless steel everywhere. Being inside as an employee feels different. Not the owner, just staff, invisible. Maria, get this guy an apron. A woman appears. Latina. I'm Maria. David. She hands him an apron, shows him the dish station. 3 sinks, industrial washer. Breakfast starts in an hour. Gets crazy. Keep up? I'll manage. She leaves. Darius ties the apron. He's inside. Anonymous. Staff trickles in. Ramon, servers, another dishwasher. New guy, nothing special. 6:15, energy shifts. Everyone straightens. Blake Morrison walks in. Tall, 6'2", white. Chef's coat spotless. He moves like he owns the place. Staff scatter, eyes down. Blake stops at prep, picks up vegetables. Sloppy Ramon, uneven cuts. Ramon's jaw tightens. Yes, chef, I'll redo it. Redo all of it, stay late. Yes, chef. Blake keeps moving. Eyes land on Darius. Walks over. Studies him. New guy? Started this morning. Name, David Williams. You know how this kitchen works? Learning as I go. I run a tight operation. Standards are high. Keep up or you're gone. Clear? Clear. Blake holds his gaze 3 seconds, nods. Good. Walks to his office. Rick appears. See? Tight ship. Maria whispers. You get used to him. But her hands shake. Morning rush starts. Orders flood. Dishes pile. Darius works. Scraping, loading, unloading, stacking. 20 years since he last did this. But muscle memory kicks in. Blake walks through, checking, watching. Temperature on that chicken? 165, chef. Check again. I don't trust first reads. Yes, chef. Every interaction sharp. Tense. Darius observes. The fear. The tension. People avoiding Blake's gaze. 8 a.m. Delivery arrives. Blake signs without checking. Ramon opens chicken. Checks temp. Face changes. Chef, this is 48 degrees. Blake barely looks. Use it. But I said use it. Ramon carries it away. Shoulders tight. First violation witnessed. Lunch service, 11 a.m. Kitchen explodes. A server returns with steak. Table 7, too rare, wants well done. Blake takes it. They complain about anything else? Wait time. They were here last week, same complaints. Blake's expression shifts, cold. I'll handle this. Carries the plate to his station, turns his back. Darius has a side angle. Blake hunches over, hands move, quick, deliberate, 10 seconds. Blake straightens, salamander, finishes cooking. Take it out. 20 minutes later, server returns, pale. They say it tastes weird, bitter, they're leaving. Blake shrugs. No palate. Second violation. 2 p.m., shift ends. Blake appears beside him. You kept up today? Yes, chef. Tomorrow, same time. I'll be here. Blake studies him, then walks away. Darius leaves, gets in the Toyota, sits in silence. 1 day down. Everything Jordan said is true. Pulls out his real phone, texts his lawyer. It's worse than I thought. Need 2 more days. Drives home, exhausted, hands aching, feet throbbing, but tomorrow he goes back. Blake strides past one more time, stops. New blood? Eyes lock on Darius. Darius nods, heart pounding like a bass drum. Game on, day 3, 6 a.m. Darius walks into the kitchen. Blake is already there checking inventory. David, prep station, busy day ahead. Yes, chef. Staff arrives over 15 minutes. The kitchen is silent except for work sounds. Knives hitting boards, water running, no conversation. Blake moves through stations inspecting. People tense when he approaches. He stops at Darius's station. Watches him dice carrots, perfect uniform cubes. Good knife work. Thanks, chef. Blake's eyes narrow slightly. Where'd you work before Morrison's? Few places around town, nothing special. Right. Blake studies him another beat, then moves on. Jordan glances over from 2 stations away. His expression is a warning. 8 a.m. Delivery truck arrives. The driver wheels in stacked boxes. Produce, meat, dairy. Blake signs the invoice without opening anything to check. Jordan opens a box of chicken breasts, checks the temperature strip attached to the packaging. His face changes immediately. Chef Blake, this chicken's reading 48 degrees. Protocol requires under 40. Blake barely glances over. It's fine, use it. But health code specifically says, I know what it says. Blake's voice drops dangerously low. We're not sending back product for being a couple degrees off. Put it away. Jordan's jaw clenches. Yes, chef. He carries the box to the walk-in. Every line of his body is tense. First violation, knowingly accepting unsafe product. 10 a.m., pre-service meeting. Blake calls everyone to the pass station. Saturday lunch, our busiest shift, no mistakes. Get it right first time. Maria raises her hand tentatively. Chef, what if someone sends food back? You tell me immediately. I handle all complaints. Blake leans against the counter. Some customers don't come for good food. They come for problems, free meals, attention. They complain to feel important. He pauses deliberately. We don't reward that behavior. Problem customers get handled appropriately. By me. You cook. I deal with difficult people. Clear? Yes, chef. The way Blake says handled appropriately makes Darius's skin crawl. 11 a.m. Service begins. Orders flood in. The kitchen erupts into controlled chaos. Tickets printing, timers beeping, Blake calling orders. Darius works his station, plating, garnishing, watching everything. Noon. Jenny the server returns holding a plate. Chef, table 7 sent back their steak. Says it's too rare. Wants well done. Blake takes the plate. The steak is perfect medium rare. Pink center. Good char. What else did they complain about? Jenny checks her notepad. Wait time when they arrived. About 15 minutes. Anything else? I remember them from last week. Same complaints then. Left 5% tip. Blake's expression shifts. His jaw tightens. Repeat offenders. Perfect. Should I comp something? No, I'll handle this personally. Make it special for them. He carries the plate to his workstation, turns his back to the dining room and most of the kitchen. But Darius is 3 feet away, garnishing other plates. He has a side view. Blake hunches over the plate. His hands move quickly, deliberately. Darius can't see exactly what Blake does, but something happens in those 10 seconds. Blake straightens, slides the plate into the salamander to finish cooking to well done. 2 minutes later, pulls it out, adds fresh garnish, wipes the rim. Take it to table 7. Jenny delivers it. Darius keeps working, but his mind races. What did Blake just do? 20 minutes later, Jenny returns. Her face is pale. Table 7 says the steak tastes weird. Bitter. They're not finishing it. They're leaving. Blake doesn't look up. Some people have no palate. Across the line, Jordan catches Darius's eye. This has happened before. Second violation, deliberate contamination. 2 p.m., lunch service ends, break time. Darius steps into the back alley. Jordan comes out a minute later, lights a cigarette with shaking hands. They sit in silence for 30 seconds. Jordan speaks quietly. You're not really new to kitchens. What makes you say that? You move too well, too comfortable. Most new guys fumble for weeks. You knew everything by day 2. He takes a drag. And you watch Blake differently, like you're studying him. Maybe I'm just observant, or you're here investigating. Jordan drops the cigarette, grinds it out. If someone finally sent someone to look into this place, keep watching. You'll see what I've been seeing. He goes back inside. Third red flag. Jordan knows something and suspects Darius. 4 p.m. Dinner prep begins. Darius volunteers for walk-in restocking. Blake nods approval. Inside the cold storage, Darius searches systematically, checking dates, looking for anything unusual. Behind milk crates pushed against the back wall, his hand touches something that doesn't belong. A notebook. Black cover. Worn. He pulls it out. Opens it. Coded entries in neat handwriting. JM. Rare steak complaint. Method 3 inches SC. Allergy question. Method 1 inch TH. Sent back twice. Method 4 inches. He flips through quickly. 23 entries spanning 14 months. Every entry follows the same pattern. Customer initials, complaint type, then method with a number. Darius whispers to himself, methods. This ain't cooking, it's a hit list. His hands shake as he photographs every page with his phone, makes sure everything is clear. On the shelf above where the notebook was hidden, he notices a box of latex gloves, opened, several missing. He photographs that too. The door swings open suddenly. Blake. Darius shoves the notebook back, grabs butter from a nearby shelf. Everything good? Yeah, chef. Just making sure we're stocked for dinner. Blake steps inside. The space feels smaller. You're thorough, I appreciate that. Just trying to do it right. Blake picks up a sauce container, checks the date. Shortcuts kill restaurants, get people sick. I won't tolerate that here. The irony is suffocating. Understood, chef. Blake leaves. Darius stands alone in the cold, heart pounding. The notebook proves systematic behavior. But what are these methods? 8:30 p.m., near end of service. Darius takes trash out. Jordan follows 30 seconds later, glances around to make sure they're alone. You found something in the walk-in, I can tell. Don't lie. Jordan pulls out his phone. I found it weeks ago too, and I've been recording. He shows Darius 4 video files. First video, Blake spitting directly into food before plating. Second video, Blake dropping a steak on the floor, picking it up, plating it anyway. Third video, Blake telling Maria quietly, problem customers need to be dealt with. There are ways to make sure they don't come back. Fourth video, Blake alone at prep station, mixing pot pie filling. His hand goes to his pocket, pulls something out, adds it to the bowl, stirs it in. Looks around nervously, continues working. Darius stares at the phone, his hands shake. Darius grabs Jordan's arm. Kid, you're braver than half the execs I know. Jordan's voice cracks. I didn't know what to do with it, but if you're corporate, if you can actually do something, send those videos to this email. Back them up. Cloud storage. He recites his personal email. Who are you really? Someone who's stopping this, that's all you need to know. Jordan's fingers move quickly. Done, sent, backed up on Google Drive, time-stamped. Even if Blake gets my phone, he can't delete them. Smart. I'm not smart. I'm exhausted. Jordan's voice breaks. I'm tired of being scared every day. Tired of watching him hurt people and not being able to stop it. They stand in the dark alley. Tomorrow everything changes, Darius says quietly. They go inside. Shift ends at 10 p.m. Staff leaves silently. Blake stops Darius. Good work today, David. See you tomorrow. 6 a.m. Thanks, chef. Blake studies him for a long moment, something calculating in his eyes. Then he walks to his office. Jordan appears once Blake is gone. He's starting to trust you. That's the most dangerous time. Why? That's when he brings you in closer, shows you how things really work, and if you cross him later, he destroys you, like everyone else. Darius nods. I won't be here long enough for that. What's happening tomorrow? You'll see. They separate. Darius drives home in the borrowed Toyota, parks in his driveway, sits in darkness. His phone buzzes. Email from Jordan. 4 videos. He watches each one twice. The pattern is undeniable now. Blake isn't negligent. He's methodical, systematic, deliberately targeting customers who complain. For over a year, the notebook, the videos, the violations, it all fits, but he needs one more piece, something absolutely irrefutable, something Blake can't explain away. Tomorrow, the trap snaps shut, but Blake's eyes on him now. Too close. Day 3. 11 a.m. Blake walks into the break room with a tray. Staff meal, chicken pot pies I made this morning. Thank you for working hard. He plates 6 portions, hands them to Darius, Jordan, Maria, Ramon, and 2 dishwashers. The pies look perfect. Golden crusts, steam rising, rosemary and chicken. Darius sits, Jordan across from him. Eye contact. Warning in Jordan's expression. Blake stands in the doorway, arms crossed, watching. Darius picks up his fork, cuts into the crust. Chicken, carrots, peas, gravy. Takes 1 bite, chews once, good, chews twice. Texture changes, rubbery, wrong. Jaw stops, hand to mouth, fingers in. Pull. A latex glove finger emerges, flesh-colored, soaked in gravy, torn at the knuckle. Metal glints inside. Gravy slops off the glove, thick and warm like blood from a fresh cut. Table freezes. Darius stares. Gravy drips. He peels the rubber wider. A jagged metal shard falls out, clinks onto his plate. Silence. Darius looks around. 5 other faces. Jordan, Ramon, Maria, 2 dishwashers, all black, same pie. Through the doorway, 3 white staff at prep, eating sandwiches, laughing, no pies. Blake is gone. Darius stands, glove in hand, Jordan's face white. Oh my God. Stop eating, everyone stop. Maria pushes her plate away, hands shaking. What is that? Evidence. Jordan stands. Where's Blake? Find him, don't let him leave. Jordan runs. Darius turns to Maria. Check if any pies went to customers. She hurries out. Returns seconds later, face pale. 4 pies, breakfast service, 7 to 9 a.m. 4 customers. Darius pulls out his real phone. Phone out. Shut down now. Click. Lawyer, sue the bastards. Click. Security, lock it down. Hangs up, looks at staff. Who made this batch? Ramon speaks. Blake, 5 a.m. before we arrived. Said staff only. Anyone else touch it? No. He made it alone. Darius's jaw clenches. Staff meal. Early morning. Specific people. Metal. Glove. Pattern. He walks out. Jordan appears, breathing hard. He's in his office, packing. Block the front exit. Jordan runs. Darius walks to Blake's office. Door open. Blake shoving papers into a backpack. Looks up. Sees Darius. Face drains white. 3 seconds silence. Mr. Wellington? Darius holds up the napkin. Opens it. The glove. The shard. I pulled this from your pot pie. The one you made this morning. Blake's mouth opens. Closes. I've been watching you 3 days. I've seen enough. Now I have proof. That's not... Don't lie. I found your notebook. Seen Jordan's videos. I know what you've been doing. Blake's face changes. Fear. Then calculation. You went undercover and found my head chef poisoning people. I never... You contaminated food deliberately, kept a log, over a year. Sirens louder. Blake hears them. Cops? Health department, police, security blocking exits. Blake grabs his backpack. You can't... I have the glove with metal, your notebook. 23 entries. Jordan's videos showing you spitting in food, dropping meat on floors, temperature violations. 4 customers ate contaminated pies this morning. Footsteps in hallway. Blake looks at door. Back at Darius. Trapped. Health Inspector Davis walks in. 2 officers behind her. Blake sees them. Shoulders sag. Wellington? Darius grins cold. Surprise, Chef. Your nightmare just clocked in. Davis steps forward. Mr. Wellington? Darius hands her the napkin carefully. Pulled this from staff meal. 4 more went to customers. She examines it. Expression hardens. Looks at Blake. Mr. Morrison, you need to come with us. I want a lawyer. Call from the station. She nods to the officers. One produces handcuffs. Blake Morrison, you're under arrest for criminal food contamination, assault with a deadly weapon, fraud. Blake's face crumbles as cuffs click shut. Officer reads Miranda rights. They lead Blake toward the door. He passes Darius, stops, looks back. This is a witch hunt. You put metal in food I served. Darius's voice quiet. In a restaurant my mother built on trust. You turned it into poison. Blake has no response. Officers lead him out. His voice fades down the hallway, still protesting. Davis turns to Darius. I need statements from everyone, and we'll quarantine all food from this morning. Whatever you need. She starts coordinating. Darius looks at the empty office. Blake's notebook still in evidence. Videos on Jordan's phone. Metal shard in a bag. It's over. Tomorrow, rebuilding starts. Blake tries to step back. I can explain. Explain what? Inspector Davis holds up the glove in the evidence bag. Explain why there's a contaminated glove with metal shards inside food you prepared. That's an accident. Someone must have... You made this batch alone, Darius cuts in. At 5 a.m., before anyone else arrived, Ramon confirmed it. Blake's eyes dart to the door. The two officers move to block it. Mr. Wellington, with all due respect, you can't just... Can't what? Darius's voice is ice. Can't investigate my own restaurant when customers are getting sick? Can't go undercover when my head chef is running a criminal operation? The words hang in the air. Blake's face goes from white to red. Criminal operation? I've been running this kitchen for 2 years. Profit margins up 23%. Customer satisfaction? Customer satisfaction? Darius pulls out his phone, shows Blake the screen. Sophia Martinez, 7 years old, 2 nights in ICU. Food poisoning traced back to your kitchen. Blake's mouth opens. Want to see more? Darius scrolls. Thomas Hoffman, severe allergic reaction. You paid him $1,200 cash to stay quiet. I was protecting the business. You were covering up crimes. Inspector Davis steps forward. Mr. Morrison, I'm shutting down this kitchen effective immediately. You're facing charges of criminal food contamination, health code violations, and... Wait! Blake holds up his hands. This is a misunderstanding. Mr. Wellington, he doesn't understand how kitchens work. Sometimes customers are difficult. Sometimes you have to... Have to what? Darius steps closer. Spit in their food, drop meat on the floor and serve it anyway? Add things to pot pies meant for specific people? Blake's face changes. Realization. How do you know about... I told you. I've been watching for 3 days. I've seen everything. The office feels smaller, suffocating. Blake tries a different approach. His voice drops, almost pleading. Darius, I've made this location profitable. The numbers speak for themselves. Some of these customers were impossible. They complained about everything, threatened reviews, demanded comps. I was handling problems by poisoning people. I never poisoned anyone. Then what do you call this? Darius holds up his phone again, shows a photo. Your notebook, hidden in the walk-in. 23 entries. JM, rare steak complaint, method 3. SC, allergy question, method 1. TH, sent back twice, method 4. Want to explain what these methods are? Blake's face drains again. You went through your personal log of customers you targeted. Yes, I photographed every page. One of the officers steps forward. Sir, we're going to need that notebook as evidence. It's in the walk-in cooler, Darius says, behind the milk crates against the back wall. The officer nods to his partner. They leave to retrieve it. Blake's legs seem to weaken. He sits down heavily in his desk chair. This is insane! You're blowing this completely out of proportion. Am I? Darius turns to Inspector Davis. How many customers reported illness from this location in the past year? She checks her tablet. We have 7 formal complaints filed with the health department. And how many did Blake pay off to not file formal complaints? I don't have that information. I do. Darius pulls up his notes. 11 customers, $8,000 in unauthorized cash payments, all documented in his expense reports as customer relations. Blake stands suddenly. Those were legitimate business expenses. Hush money is not a legitimate business expense. I was preventing lawsuits. You were covering up evidence of contamination that you deliberately caused? Blake's voice rises. Some of those customers deserved what they got. You don't know what it's like dealing with entitled people who... He stops, realizes what he just said. The room goes completely silent. Inspector Davis speaks quietly. Mr. Morrison, did you just admit to deliberately contaminating customer food? Blake's mouth works. No sound comes out. Footsteps in the hallway. Multiple people. Jordan appears in the doorway. Behind him, the entire kitchen staff. Maria, Ramon, the dishwashers, the servers, everyone. They heard everything. Jordan steps forward, holds up his phone. I have video evidence, 4 videos, Blake contaminating food, Blake coaching staff to retaliate against customers, Blake adding something to pot pie filling. Blake stares at him. You recorded me? For 2 weeks, because someone had to... You little... Blake starts to move toward Jordan. Both officers immediately step between them. One puts a hand on Blake's shoulder. Sir, stay where you are. Blake jerks away. Get your hands off me. I'm the head chef here. You're being detained for questioning, the officer says firmly. On what grounds? Criminal food contamination, assault with a deadly weapon, the metal shards, fraud, intimidation of witnesses. Blake looks at Darius. You can't do this. I'll sue. You'll do nothing. Darius's voice is final. Blake Morrison, you're fired. Effective immediately. Badge, keys, all company property. Now. You can't fire me without cause. Cause? I have video evidence, physical evidence, witness testimony, a notebook documenting over a year of criminal behavior, and a latex glove with metal shards that you served in food this morning. Darius's voice drops even lower. You're not just fired, Blake. You're being charged, and every customer you hurt will know exactly what you did. Blake looks around the room, at the staff watching, at the officers, at Inspector Davis with her evidence bags. No way out. The second officer returns from the walk-in, holding the black notebook and a clear evidence bag. Found it exactly where he said. 23 entries, coded language about customer complaints and methods. Inspector Davis takes it, flips through the pages. Her expression gets progressively harder. She looks up at Blake. Mr. Morrison, you need to come with us. Now. I want my lawyer. You can call them from the station. Officers? One officer produces handcuffs. Blake Morrison, you're under arrest for criminal food contamination, fraud, and assault. You have the right to remain silent. Blake's face crumbles completely as the cuffs click shut. The officer continues reading Miranda rights as they lead Blake toward the door. He passes the gathered staff. They all step back. No one meets his eyes. At the doorway, Blake stops. Looks back at Darius one more time. This is a witch hunt. You know that, right? I was doing my job. I was managing difficult situations. You were hurting people. Darius's voice is quiet but carries. In a restaurant my mother built on trust, on feeding people like family. You turned it into something cruel. Blake has no response to that. The officers lead him out. His voice fades down the hallway, still protesting, still defending. The staff remains frozen in silence. Inspector Davis turns to Darius. Mr. Wellington, I need statements from everyone, and we'll need to quarantine all food products from this morning. Whatever you need. She nods and starts coordinating with her team. Darius looks at the assembled staff. They're all staring at him. Maria speaks first. Her voice shakes. You're really the CEO? Yes. You've been working here for 3 days, as a dishwasher, to see what was really happening. Ramon steps forward. All those pies this morning, we all ate from the same batch Blake made. I know. But the white staff didn't. They had sandwiches. I know. The implication settles over everyone. Jordan's voice is quiet. How long was he doing this? Darius looks at him. At least 14 months, based on the notebook. Oh my God. Maria sits down suddenly on a nearby chair. I ate that pie. I could have... You're all going to the hospital right now, full examinations. Company covers everything. Someone in the back starts crying. The weight of what could have happened crushes down on everyone. Darius addresses them all. I need you to know something. This kitchen closes for 72 hours minimum. Full deep clean, full inspection. When we reopen, everything changes. New protocols, new management, new culture. He pauses. You'll all be paid for those 72 hours, and anyone who cooperates with the investigation gets a bonus. Your jobs are safe. Blake's gone. Rick Palmer is also gone for enabling this, but you're staying. Relief washes over several faces. One more thing. Darius looks directly at Jordan. I need a new kitchen manager for this location, someone who had the courage to document what was happening when no one else would, someone who risked his job to protect customers. Jordan's eyes widen. You mean Jordan Ellis. The job is yours if you want it. Jordan's voice breaks. I don't know what to say. Say yes or no. Yes. Absolutely yes. The staff erupts in applause, subdued but genuine. For the first time since the glove came out of the pie, someone smiles. It's a start. 72 hours later. Darius returns to the Buckhead location. The kitchen sits dark. The smell of industrial sanitizer fills every corner. A team waits inside. Inspector Davis, 2 contractors, his operations director, and Jordan Ellis, wearing a new chef's coat with kitchen manager embroidered on the chest. Inspector Davis hands him a tablet. Full investigation complete, Darius reads. Systematic contamination spanning 14 months, 23 documented incidents, 4 additional discovered through interviews, 18 health code violations, criminal charges, food contamination, fraud, reckless endangerment, assault. Timeline for trial? 6 months. Blake's lawyer wants a plea deal. No deals. Davis nods. Darius scrolls. 27 total victims identified. We also found this. Davis pulls up another file. Second notebook hidden in Blake's locker. She shows him. Methods explained clearly. Method 1, cross-contamination with allergens. Method 2, expired ingredients mixed with fresh. Method 3, foreign objects added. Method 4, floor contact before plating. Darius feels sick. He was systematic, Davis says. Calculated. How many victims want to press charges? All of them. Good. Darius looks around the empty kitchen. His mother built this on trust. Blake turned it into a weapon. Show me the renovation plans. Contractors spread blueprints. Complete redesign. Color-coded boards. Separate allergen-free stations. Digital temperature monitoring. Expanded cameras. No blind spots. Every station visible, the contractor says. Staff safety protocols? Jordan steps forward with a binder. New handbook, mandatory training quarterly, anonymous reporting, zero tolerance for retaliation. He opens to a marked page. The Wellington Way. Customer complaints are opportunities to improve, never reasons to retaliate. Any employee witnessing unsafe handling must report immediately. This goes to all 6 locations? Already implemented. I trained the other managers yesterday. How'd they react? 2 supportive, 3 defensive. 1 asked if you were implying they were like Blake. And you said? I showed them the video of Blake spitting in food. That ended it. Darius nods. Good work. They walk through the kitchen. Every surface cleaned. Equipment inspected. Old inventory thrown out. When do we reopen? Jordan asks. Final inspection tomorrow. If we pass Saturday. Can you be ready? Jordan takes a breath. Yes. Darius's phone rings. His lawyer. Settlements reached with all 27 victims. Total 2.1 million. Conditions? Full medical coverage. Public acknowledgement. Your personal apology. Enhanced safety protocols. Done. He hangs up. Jordan stares. 2.1 million? It's what they deserve. That'll hurt the bottom line. I don't care about the bottom line. I care about making this right. They reach the walk-in, where the notebooks were hidden. Open wire shelving here, the contractor says. Everything visible. Good. Operations director approaches. Media outside want a statement. Press conference tomorrow after final inspection. The team continues working. Installing, training, rebuilding. Darius pulls Jordan aside. Tomorrow when we pass, you lead the reopening. You run the kitchen. You're not going to be here? I'll be in the dining room. As a customer, you're the chef now. Jordan swallows. I won't let you down. I know. That's why I chose you. Next morning, Inspector Davis arrives at 6 a.m., 4 hours inspection, 10 a.m. She calls them into the office. Most thorough overhaul I've seen in 20 years. She signs the form. Clear to reopen. Perfect score. Jordan exhales. But I'm putting you on notice, Davis continues. I'll be back unannounced monthly forever. Good, Darius says. That's what I want. She hands him the certification. Your mother would be proud. Darius looks at the paper. I hope so. After Davis leaves, they stand in the empty kitchen. We open tomorrow, Jordan says. Saturday, 6 a.m. Nervous? Terrified. Good. That means you care. Darius puts a hand on his shoulder. Every plate represents trust, someone trusting us to feed them safely. That's a lot of pressure. That's the job. Jordan nods. Let's do it right. Saturday morning. The line starts forming at 5:30. News spread. The arrest, the victims, the overhaul. Some come curious, some to support, some believe in second chances. Jordan stands at the pass. New team, new protocols, first order, chicken pot pie. Jordan looks at the ticket, takes a breath. Let's make this perfect. The kitchen moves as one. Prep, cook, plate. Every step documented, every temperature checked. The pie goes out. Jordan watches. An elderly woman cuts into it, takes a bite, pauses, then smiles. Jordan exhales. One plate, done right. One customer, served safely. One step toward earning back what Blake destroyed, one meal at a time, 3 weeks after reopening. Darius walks into the Buckhead kitchen at 7 a.m., through the front door like a customer. The morning prep team is already working, Jordan at the pass, Maria prepping vegetables, Ramon on protein, 2 new hires learning stations. No one notices Darius at first. They're focused, moving efficiently. The atmosphere is completely different. People talk, ask questions, smile occasionally. Jordan looks up. Mr. Wellington, didn't know you were coming. Just checking in, don't let me interrupt. Jordan turns back. Maria, how are those brunoise cuts? Maria holds up her board. Perfect tiny cubes, uniform. Beautiful. See that, everyone? That's the standard. Maria beams. Darius watches quietly. Jordan has grown into the role, not arrogant, confident. Ramon speaks up. Chef, question about chicken stock. Recipe says 4 hours simmer. Can we go longer for deeper flavor? Jordan walks over. Tastes. Good question. Yes, 6 hours, but document the change. If it's better, we'll update the recipe officially. Got it. One of the new hires, Marcus, drops a knife. It clatters. He freezes. Fear flashes across his face. The old kitchen would have exploded. Jordan walks over calmly. You good? Marcus nods quickly. Sorry, chef. I wasn't. It's fine. Pick it up. Wash it. Wash. Sanitizer bucket. Grab a fresh one and continue. Marcus stares. You're not mad? Mad? You dropped a knife. You didn't hurt yourself or anyone. That's what matters. Jordan puts a hand on his shoulder. Mistakes happen. What matters is how we handle them. Clean up, learn, move forward, okay? Okay. Marcus picks up the knife, hands shaking, but he follows protocol. Jordan calls over his shoulder. And Marcus? Good job not catching it. That's how people lose fingers. You did the right thing. Marcus straightens. The fear eases. At 8 a.m. morning meeting, Jordan stands at front. Saturday numbers were excellent. 400 covers, 0 complaints, 16 compliments. Health inspector surprise visit Thursday. Perfect score again. Light applause. But more importantly, I want to recognize Maria. Customer at table 12 said her vegetable garnish was the most beautiful thing she'd seen all week. Maria covers her mouth, eyes watering. Really? Really? That's what we do. We don't just feed people, we make their day better. Genuine applause. Ramon, your chicken stock modification? Incredible. Deeper flavor. That's the new standard. I'm adding your name to it. Ramon's Enhanced Chicken Stock. Ramon laughs. You're serious? Completely. You improved something. You get credit. After the meeting, Darius asks Jordan to step outside. They sit on the same milk crates where Jordan smoked 3 weeks ago, where he first hinted something was wrong. You're doing great work, Darius says. Thanks. Still learning. We all are. Darius pauses. I want to talk about the staff meal, the pot pie Blake made. Jordan tenses. Yeah? About who was served that pie? All black staff. All the people Blake saw as expendable. I noticed that too. Did you ever feel unsafe here because of your race? Jordan is quiet. Not unsafe exactly, but unseen. Like Blake looked through me instead of at me. Like I was interchangeable. Did he treat white staff differently? Yeah, more patience, more mentorship, more benefit of the doubt. Jordan looks at Darius. But I can't prove it was racism. He never said anything explicit, just patterns. Patterns are enough. Silence. I'm sorry, Darius says. Sorry you experienced that. Sorry it took so long for someone to notice. You're paying attention now. That's not enough, but it's a start. Darius stands. I want you to help me design an equity audit for all 6 locations. Pay, promotions, opportunities. I want to see if there are patterns. You really want to know? I need to know. Because if there are problems, I need to fix them. That's going to be uncomfortable. Good things usually are. They go back inside. Lunch prep in full swing. The kitchen hums with purposeful energy. Maria teaching Marcus knife technique. Ramon checking temperatures, documenting each reading. The new dishwasher scrubbing equipment while humming. No one is afraid. No one is looking over their shoulder. No one is waiting for the explosion. Darius pulls out his phone, takes a photo, sends it to his mother's memorial page. Mom, we're getting it right again. Slowly, but we're getting there. His phone buzzes. His sister. Saw your post. Proud of you. He smiles, types back. Wish she could see this. She does. Darius puts his phone away. Watches his team work. 1 kitchen down, 5 more to audit. Years of work ahead, but today, right now, this kitchen is safe, and that's enough. 4 months later, Darius stands outside Atlanta Children's Hospital holding a white box. Inside, a perfectly made chicken pot pie made by Jordan this morning. Temperature checked 3 times, ingredients verified, made with care. He takes the elevator to the 4th floor. Pediatric ward. Sophia Martinez sits up in bed when he enters. She's been here 2 weeks for follow-up tests. Complications from the poisoning 4 months ago still affecting her digestive system. Her mother, Isabel, stands when she sees him. Mr. Wellington. Mrs. Martinez. Sophia. He holds up the box. I brought something, if you'll accept it. Sophia looks at the box, then at her mother. Fear flickers in her eyes. Isabel's voice is tight. Sophia hasn't eaten restaurant food since that night. I know, and I understand if you don't want this. Darius sits in the chair beside the bed. But I wanted to bring it anyway, to show you what we've become, what we should have always been. He opens the box. The smell of rosemary and butter fills the room. Sophia stares at it. Is it safe? The question breaks Darius's heart. Yes. I watched it being made this morning, every step, by a good man named Jordan who cares about every person who eats his food. Sophia doesn't reach for it. Isabel speaks quietly. The trial is next month. Blake's lawyer is still trying to negotiate a plea. I know. I won't let that happen. He took something from her. Isabel's voice cracks. She used to love trying new foods, new restaurants. Now she's afraid of everything we didn't make at home. Darius looks at Sophia. Really looks at her. This 7-year-old girl who trusted his restaurant, who got poisoned for it. Sophia, can I tell you something? She nods. What happened to you changed everything. Not just at our restaurant, at lots of restaurants. Because of you, we made new rules to keep people safe. Because of you, other kids won't get hurt like you did. Because of me? Her voice is small. Because you were brave enough to tell people what happened. Your mom was brave enough to fight for you. And that bravery made us better. Sophia looks at the pot pie again. Did the bad chef make this? No. The bad chef is gone forever. A good chef made this. His name is Jordan. He has a little sister about your age, and he thinks about her every time he cooks. He asks himself, would I serve this to my sister? And if the answer is no, he doesn't serve it to anyone. Sophia considers this. What's his sister's name? Zoe. Does Zoe like pot pie? She loves it. Sophia reaches out slowly. Her small hand trembles. She touches the crust. Then she looks at her mother. Can I try a tiny bite? Isabel's eyes fill with tears. She nods. Sophia takes the smallest piece of crust, brings it to her mouth, pauses, then takes a bite, chews slowly, swallows, waits. Nothing bad happens. She takes another small bite, then another. Isabel covers her mouth with her hand, tears streaming. Darius watches Sophia eat. Not the whole pie, just a few bites, but it's enough. She looks up at him. It's good. I'm glad. Can you tell Jordan thank you? I will. Every day. When Darius leaves the hospital an hour later, his phone rings. Jordan. How did it go? She ate some, not all, but some. Jordan exhales. Relief. That's huge. Yeah. Hey, I need to tell you something. Ramon found something weird in the walk-in at the Midtown location. Old temperature logs that don't match. I think we might have another problem. Darius stops walking, closes his eyes. It never ends. The vigilance, the watching, the checking. But that's the job now. I'll be there in 20 minutes. He hangs up, gets in his car. One little girl eating pot pie again. One potential problem at another location. The victories are small. The work is endless. But he keeps showing up, because that's what real leadership requires. Not just fixing what's broken, but staying to make sure it never breaks again. Even when it's exhausting. Even when it's hard. Even when new problems keep appearing. He shows up anyway, because people like Sophia deserve nothing less.